The boardroom at Mendez and Associates in Chicago was in a tense silence. 10 executives sat waiting for the presentation by the new CEO the board had hired. Gabriel Mendez, 35 years old, until then the executive director, was at the head of the table trying not to show his irritation. He had expected the promotion to CEO. He had worked at his uncle's company for 12 years. He deserved it. But the board decided to bring someone from outside. Someone with international experience, they said. Someone who will modernize the company, they explained. Gabriel was furious, but kept up a professional facade. And then the door opened, and a woman walked in, hair pulled back in an elegant bun, perfectly cut grey suit, high heels that made her seem even more imposing than her 5'7" frame, eyes that Gabriel recognized immediately, even after 5 years, even with all the professionalism and distance. They were the eyes of Marina Carter, the woman he had left at the altar, the woman he had abandoned hours before the wedding because his ex-girlfriend had shown up saying she was pregnant, the woman whose heart he had shattered into millions of pieces. And now she was there, as his boss. And when Marina looked at him, when their eyes met across the room, Gabriel saw something that chilled him. It wasn't anger. It wasn't pain. It was something much worse. It was power, absolute control, and the small smile on her lips said it all. Now I'm the one in charge. Before we continue with this thrilling story, subscribe to this channel to always receive special stories like this one, and hit the bell so you don't miss any new videos. 5 years before that tense moment in the boardroom, Gabriel Mendez was in his hotel room putting on his wedding suit when his phone rang. Unknown number. He almost didn't answer. After all, he was getting married in 3 hours. But something made him pick up. Gabriel, it's Julia. The world stopped. Julia, his ex-girlfriend from 3 years ago, a relationship that had ended badly, with fights and accusations. He hadn't spoken to her since then. Julia, why are you calling? Today is my wedding. I know, and I'm sorry, but I need to tell you something. Something that can't wait. What? I'm pregnant. 3 months. And the baby is yours. Gabriel felt the floor disappear beneath his feet. That's impossible. We broke up 3 years ago. You remember that weekend? 4 months ago? When we ran into each other at that work event? When we drank too much and... Gabriel remembered. It had been a mistake. A huge mistake. Marina was away on a business trip. He had gone to a networking event alone. Julia was there. They talked, they drank, and one thing led to another. He had hated himself afterward, had sworn never to tell Marina. It had been one night. A mistake by a drunk, idiotic man. It meant nothing. But now... Are you sure? That it's mine? I had a non-invasive prenatal paternity test. I have the results here, 99, 9% probability. Gabriel, you're going to be a father. Why are you telling me this now? On my wedding day? Because I tried to tell you before. I called. I texted. You blocked me. And then I found out about the wedding through social media. And I realized, if I don't tell you now, you're going to get married without knowing. You're going to have a child in the world without knowing, and I can't let that happen. Gabriel was panicking, his mind racing 1,000 miles per hour. I need to think. I need to process this. There's no time to process. Your wedding is in 3 hours. You need to decide. Are you going to marry her while lying, or are you going to tell the truth? I'll tell her, obviously I'll tell her, but not now. Not like this. When then? After you're married? After it's too late? Gabriel hung up, hands trembling, heart racing, and he did something he would regret for the rest of his life. He called Marina. Sweetheart, is everything okay? You sound strange. Marina, I can't do this. Do what? Get married. I can't get married today. Silence on the other end. And then, is this a joke? Gabriel, the guests are already arriving. I'm getting ready. My dress. I know, and I'm so sorry, but I can't. I'm not ready. It's too much pressure, too much. Are you having a crisis? Last-minute jitters? Because everyone gets nervous. It's not jitters. It's certainty. Certainty that I can't do this, not now. Gabriel, look me in the eye and say that. Come here, now. And say to my face that you don't love me. But Gabriel didn't go, because he knew that if he saw Marina, he wouldn't be able to do what he needed to do. He wouldn't be able to end it. I'm sorry. So sorry. But I can't marry you today. Maybe ever. I need time. I need to think. Are you having an affair? Is that it? Did you meet someone else? The accusation was so close to the truth that Gabriel fell silent, and that silence said everything. Oh my God, it's true. You're having an affair and you're leaving me on our wedding day. Marina, it's not like that. Then what is it? Explain to me how abandoning your fiancé 3 hours before the wedding isn't exactly what it looks like. Gabriel had no explanation, because the real explanation, my ex is pregnant with my child that I conceived while cheating on you 4 months ago, was worse, much worse. Just trust me, it's for the best, for both of us. Marina hung up. And Gabriel stood there in the hotel room, half-dressed in his suit, knowing he had just committed the worst mistake of his life. But he couldn't marry Marina knowing Julia was pregnant. He couldn't start a marriage with a lie. He had to resolve the situation with Julia first, confirm the pregnancy, make plans, and then maybe try to explain to Marina, except he never got the chance. Because Marina didn't answer his calls anymore, blocked him on everything, changed her number and disappeared. In the days following the cancelled wedding, Gabriel tried to explain, sent flowers, letters, went to her apartment, but Marina had moved, quit her job, vanished completely. And Julia lost the baby 6 weeks later. A miscarriage. The pregnancy that had destroyed his marriage ended up not existing anymore. Gabriel was left with nothing. Without Marina, without a baby, just guilt and regret. You did the right thing, Julia said when she informed him about the miscarriage. You couldn't marry her while hiding that from her. It would have been a lie, but it didn't feel right. It felt like Gabriel had destroyed everything for nothing, had lost the love of his life for a pregnancy that resulted in nothing. He tried to find Marina for months, hired a private investigator, discovered she had gone to Europe, was doing an MBA in London, but when he tried to contact her there, she sent a message through a lawyer. Leave me alone. You made your choice. Now live with it. And Gabriel lived for 5 years. Threw himself into work, rose in the company, had empty relationships that led nowhere, and always thought about Marina, about the mistake he had made, about the cowardly way he had ended it. And now she was there, in front of him as his boss. Marina didn't look directly at him during the presentation, maintained absolute professionalism. My name is Marina Carter. I have an MBA from London Business School. I've spent the last 5 years working in strategic consulting on 3 continents, and I've been hired to modernize this company's operations and increase profits by 30% in the next 2 years. Her voice was firm, confident, completely different from the Marina Gabriel knew. That Marina had been kind, sweet, a bit shy. This Marina was a warrior. I'll be making significant changes, she continued. Some popular, some not, but all necessary. And I expect full cooperation from all executives, including you, Mr. Mendez. She looked directly at him for the first time, and Gabriel saw the challenge in those eyes. After the meeting, Gabriel tried to speak with her privately, but Marina was leaving quickly. Marina, wait. Can we talk? She stopped, turned, and looked at him with a completely neutral expression. It's Mrs. Carter, in the workplace. And what do we need to talk about, Mr. Mendez? About us. About what happened. There is no us. And what happened was 5 years ago, irrelevant to work. But you accepted a position here knowing I worked here. That's not a coincidence. Marina smiled, but it wasn't a warm smile. You're right, it's not a coincidence. When the headhunter offered me the position and mentioned that Gabriel Mendez worked here, I almost refused. But then I thought, why should I refuse an incredible opportunity because of a man who abandoned me? Why let the past control my future? So I accepted. And I'm here not because of you, but in spite of you. Marina, Mrs. Carter, she corrected coldly, and I suggest you maintain professional distance. I'm your boss now, not your ex-fiancé, not your friend, your boss, and I expect you to treat me with the respect the position deserves. She left, leaving Gabriel stunned. In the following weeks, Marina proved to be an excellent but ruthless boss, made quick changes, fired underperformers, restructured departments. And with Gabriel specifically, she was harsh. Your report is incomplete, Mr. Mendez. Do it over. This strategy you proposed? Weak. I expected more from an executive director. You need to be here at 7 tomorrow for the meeting. No, it's not optional. Gabriel didn't know if she was being unfair or if she simply had high standards. But he felt the weight of every criticism, every disapproving look, every cold command. She's destroying you, said a colleague, Rodrigo. She clearly has something personal against you. She doesn't, Gabriel lied. She's like this with everyone. No, she's not. With others she's tough but fair. With you she's cruel. And it was true. Marina was tougher on Gabriel than on anyone else. As if she was proving a point. As if she was showing who was in control now. 2 months after Marina arrived, Gabriel made a mistake. A small error in a presentation to a client. Wrong number on a slide. The client didn't notice. But Marina did. "My office now," she said after the meeting. Gabriel went, feeling like a student called to the principal's office. "Sit," she ordered when she closed the door. Gabriel sat, and Marina stood looking down at him, a clear power position. A mistake like that is unacceptable. It could have cost us the client. It was a small mistake. There are no small mistakes. There is excellence or there is mediocrity, and I don't tolerate mediocrity on my team. "Marina, Mrs. Carter," she finally exploded. "How many times do I have to repeat it? We are not friends. We are nothing more than boss and subordinate." Gabriel went quiet, and then said softly, "I know you're angry. You have every right to be. What I did was unforgivable." "You have no idea," she interrupted, her voice trembling now. "No idea what you did to me. Leaving someone at the altar? Do you know what it's like to be dressed in a wedding gown waiting and getting a call saying the groom isn't going to show up? Do you know what it's like to have to face 200 guests and say the wedding is cancelled? Do you know what kind of humiliation that is? I know it was terrible, and I'm sorry more than you can imagine, but I had a reason. I don't care about your reasons. You could have ended it a week before, a month before, but you chose the day of the wedding, hours before, as if I wasn't even worth a decent explanation." Tears were beginning to fall from her eyes now, and Gabriel saw the pain he had caused, pain that 5 years hadn't healed. "You deserved an explanation," he agreed. "You deserved the truth, and I'll give it to you now, if you let me." Marina wiped her tears quickly, recomposing herself. "I don't want your explanations, they don't change anything. Please, 5 minutes. Let me explain, and afterward, if you want to hate me, that's fine. But at least you'll know the truth." Marina hesitated, and then nodded, sitting behind her desk, creating a physical barrier between them. 5 minutes, and then we never speak of it again. Gabriel took a deep breath and told her everything, about running into Julia, about the mistake, about the pregnancy, about the call on the morning of the wedding, about the panic and the idiotic decision to cancel everything. "And afterward," he concluded, "Julia lost the baby 6 weeks later, so I destroyed our wedding for a pregnancy that didn't even exist anymore." Marina was in absolute silence, processing. "You cheated on me," she said finally. 4 months before the wedding, you cheated on me. It was a mistake, a horrible mistake. I was drunk. That's not an excuse. And then when you found out about the pregnancy, instead of telling me the truth, you left me, made me think you simply didn't love me, that you had changed your mind. Because I was a coward, because I was afraid of losing you and ended up losing you anyway." "You never had me to lose," shouted Marina, "because a man who truly loved me wouldn't have cheated on me, wouldn't have left me without an explanation. You made selfish choices one after another, and now you want—" "What? Forgiveness? No, I don't expect forgiveness. I just wanted you to know the truth, that it wasn't because I didn't love you. It was because I loved you too much and didn't want to start our marriage with a lie. Then you started nothing, and left me with nothing, with shame, with a broken heart, with 5 years of rebuilding. And you rebuilt well," said Gabriel, looking at her. "Look at you now, CEO, powerful, successful. You don't need me." "I never needed you," Marina replied, "but I wanted you, wanted to have you, wanted to build a life together, and you destroyed that. So yes, I rebuilt, but not without cost." A heavy silence between them. "Your 5 minutes are up," Marina finally said, "and now that I know that you know I know the truth, we can return to a professional relationship. You work for me. I evaluate your performance, and what happened 5 years ago stays in the past. Agreed?" Gabriel nodded, because what else could he do? Agreed. But both knew it wasn't going to be that simple, because you can't pretend a shared history doesn't exist. You can't work together every day and not feel the weight of the past. And in the following weeks, this tension only grew. But before we continue and discover what happens between Marina and Gabriel, when the past and present collide daily, leave your like here on the video, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and hit the bell so you don't miss any new story. Do you think Marina can forgive Gabriel? Does he deserve a second chance, and what would you do in her place? Also tell me which city you're watching this video from, and I'll mark your comment with a special heart. Now let's get back to our story. The following months were the hardest of Gabriel's career. Working under Marina's command was constant torture. Not because she was unfair, technically she wasn't, but because every interaction was a reminder of what he had lost, of who he had been and who he had become. Marina was a brilliant CEO. In 4 months she had increased profits by 15%, had closed deals that seemed impossible, had transformed the company culture, and Gabriel couldn't deny it. She was better than he could ever be. "You've been quiet," Rodrigo commented during lunch. "Since Marina arrived, you're a shadow of who you were." "I'm focused on work. You're depressed and everyone notices. What does she have over you? Because it's clearly not just a professional relationship." Gabriel didn't respond. Because how could he explain? How could he say that his boss was the woman who should have been his wife? That he had destroyed her? 6 months after Marina arrived, the company had its holiday party. Gabriel didn't want to go. But attendance was mandatory. Marina was there, stunning in a black dress, talking with clients, laughing, enchanting everyone, and Gabriel couldn't stop looking, not just because she was beautiful, but because she was happy, complete, without him. "She's engaged," Rodrigo said suddenly. Gabriel felt the world stop. "What? Marina? She's engaged. I saw the ring. Huge diamond." I asked and she confirmed. Getting married mid-year. Gabriel felt it like a punch to the stomach. Marina was getting married, moving on, and he was still stuck 5 years in the past. Later that night, as the party was winding down, Gabriel found Marina alone on the balcony. "Congratulations," he said, "on the engagement." Marina looked at him, surprised. "Thank you. Did Rodrigo tell you?" "He did. Is he a good guy?" "The best. I met him in London. He's an international lawyer, kind, reliable. Everything that." She didn't finish, but both knew. "Everything that you weren't." "I'm happy for you," said Gabriel. And it was true, a sincere pain, but true. "You deserve to be happy." "I know I do," Marina replied. "That's why I accepted his proposal. Because he values me, respects me, and would never leave me." The comparison was clear and fair. "I hope he makes you happy, truly happy." Marina studied his face. "Why are you doing this? Being kind, making it harder?" "I'm not trying to make anything harder. I just wanted you to know that I don't hate you for being hard on me at work. I deserve it. And I wanted you to know that I wish you the best, always." Marina was quiet for a long moment. "Do you know what's the hardest part about working with you?" she finally said. "It's not the anger. I got over the anger a long time ago. It's seeing you every day and remembering who I was when I loved you, that Marina was lighter, more trusting in love, more open. And now I'm careful, protected, and happy, yes, but in a different way, more secure but less free. I'm sorry for taking that from you. You didn't take it. I chose not to let myself be completely broken. I chose to rebuild, but the scars remained." Gabriel wanted to touch her, hug her, say he still loved her, but he couldn't, because she was engaged, had moved on, and he had lost that right 5 years ago. "Your fiancé is lucky," he said, "and I hope he knows that." Marina smiled, the first genuine smile she had given Gabriel in 6 months. "He knows, and so do I." But 3 months later, in a team meeting, Marina seemed different, tired, distracted, and she wasn't wearing her engagement ring. After the meeting, Gabriel risked asking, "Are you okay? You seem—" "Broke off the engagement," she interrupted. 2 weeks ago, and before you ask, no, it wasn't because of you. It was because I realized I was getting married for the wrong reasons." "Wrong reasons?" "Security, comfort. Because he was the opposite of you, but marriage can't be about avoiding the past. It has to be about building a future. And I wasn't ready." Gabriel didn't know what to say. "I'm sorry." "Don't be. It was the right decision, painful but right." In the following months, something changed between them. Marina was still the boss, still professional, but there was a softness that hadn't existed before, as if ending the engagement had broken something rigid in her. "Your report is good," she said one day. The first compliment in 9 months. "Thank you. You're improving, finally." It was almost like friendly teasing. Almost like before. 1 year after Marina arrived at the company, Gabriel made a big mistake. Closed a contract without running it by her first. A contract that seemed good but had a problematic clause. My office. Now, she said when she found out. Gabriel went expecting a scolding. Maybe even termination. He deserved it. Marina closed the door and then surprised him. Why did you do this? You know the protocol. You know contracts need my approval. I was trying to show initiative. You were trying to prove something. To me or to yourself, I don't know, but Gabriel, you don't need to prove anything. You're good at what you do. When you're not trying too hard. I'm trying too hard because I work for you and you make me want to be better. Marina stopped, looked at him, really looked. Why? Out of guilt? Out of regret? Out of all of that, but also because seeing who you've become inspires. You survived the worst of what I did and became amazing, and I want to be worthy of that in some way. You don't have to be worthy of me. We're nothing to each other besides colleagues. But we were, and part of me will always feel like I lost the best thing I ever had. Marina sat on the edge of the desk. Gabriel, we can't do this. We can't revisit the past. It hurts too much. I know, and I'm sorry for everything, for every day, every moment, every idiotic choice. Stop apologizing. You've apologized 1,000 times. Because 1,000 times isn't enough, because I destroyed us. Destroyed the future. Destroyed you. You didn't destroy me, shouted Marina. You hurt me, deeply. But you didn't destroy me. I rebuilt myself, alone. And now you want, what? Credit for inspiration? Forgiveness out of regret? I want you to know that I love you, Gabriel exploded. Still, after 5 years, after everything, I love you and I can't stop. Absolute silence in the office. Gabriel horrified at having said it. Marina, shocked. You can't say that, she whispered. You can't do that to me. I know, and I'm sorry, but it's true. And carrying that every day, seeing you, working with you, knowing I lost you, it's torture. Marina was crying now. You don't have me to lose. You lost me 5 years ago, the day you chose everything but me. I know, and I live with that. But it doesn't change that I love you, that I've always loved you, even when I made a stupid choice. Love isn't enough, she shouted. Love doesn't erase the cheating, doesn't erase the abandonment, doesn't erase 5 years of pain. I know, but it's all I have. Marina wiped her tears. I need you to leave, now. And tomorrow we act like this conversation never happened, understood? Gabriel nodded and left, feeling like he had just destroyed his last chance. The next morning, Marina requested a meeting with HR. I need to transfer Gabriel Mendez to the Miami office, immediately. Why? Asked the HR director. He's one of our best executives, and Chicago is headquarters. Because we can't work together. There's a conflict of interest. What kind of conflict? Marina hesitated, and then told the truth. Personal. We have history, and it's affecting the work. His and mine. So either he goes to Miami, or one of us has to leave the company. And if he doesn't want to go, then he's terminated. His choice. Gabriel was called to HR that afternoon, given the ultimatum. Miami or termination, said the director. I'm sorry, but Marina was clear, and if I refuse both, then it's involuntary termination, with all the consequences. Gabriel knew he was cornered, and he understood. Marina was protecting herself, creating distance, because yesterday he had crossed a line. I'll go to Miami, he said, but I want to speak with Marina first. She said she doesn't want to speak with you. Even so, I need to. Please. After much insistence, Marina agreed to see him, in her office, with the door open. 5 minutes, she said, and we have a witness. Her assistant was seated in the room. I'm going to Miami, said Gabriel. As you asked. But before I go, I need to say something. Gabriel, please, one last thing, and then I'll never bother you again. Marina nodded rigidly. Yesterday I said I love you. And it was true. But I didn't say it expecting something in return. I said it because you deserve to know. Because you spent 5 years thinking I left you because I didn't love you. But that wasn't it. It was because I'm a coward who loved you too much and made a stupid choice out of panic. He took a deep breath. But you're right. Love doesn't erase what I did. So I'm going to Miami. I'll give you the space you need. And I'll live with the consequences of my choices, as I should have done 5 years ago. Marina was fighting back tears. Thank you for understanding, for going without a fight. There's nothing to fight for. You've already decided, and I respect that. I respect you. Gabriel started to leave, but at the door he turned. Marina, one last thing. You will find someone who deserves you, who will love you the right way, and when you do, please don't let what I did stop you from being happy. You deserve everything. Everything I couldn't give you. And then he left, leaving Marina crying silently in her office. Gabriel moved to Miami the following week. Small apartment, smaller office, far from everything he knew. And for a year, he worked in silence, focused, without drama. Marina, in Chicago, continued leading the company, took profits to new heights, was recognized with leadership awards. And externally, she seemed to have forgotten Gabriel completely. But at night alone, she still thought of him, of his words, of the genuine regret, and of the question she didn't want to ask. What if she was being too harsh? What if he deserved a second chance? 2 years after moving to Miami, Gabriel received an unexpected call. Gabriel, it's Marina. His heart raced, just hearing her voice. Marina, hi, is everything okay? It is. I'm coming to Miami for a business conference, and I thought if you'd like to have dinner, professionally, to discuss potential collaboration between the offices. It was an excuse. Both knew, but Gabriel accepted. I'd love that. When? Friday, 7 p.m. at the restaurant in the hotel where I'm staying. I'll be there. On Friday, Gabriel arrived 15 minutes early, nervous as a teenager on a first date. When Marina arrived, he stood up immediately. She was beautiful, hair down, simple but elegant dress, and no engagement ring, no ring at all. Hi, she said. Hi, you look well. You too. Miami has been good for you. They sat, and for 10 minutes they talked about work, about numbers, about strategies, an elaborate dance avoiding the elephant in the room, until Marina stopped mid-sentence. I can't do this. I can't pretend I came here for work. Gabriel put the menu aside. Then why did you come? Because in the last 2 years, I've had a lot of time to think. About us, about what happened, about the anger I carried. And I realized something. I realized I'm stuck in that day, in the moment you left me. And as long as I stay stuck, I can't truly move forward. Marina, if you came here to forgive me, you don't have to. I don't deserve. I didn't come to forgive you, she interrupted. I came to forgive myself. Gabriel was confused. Forgive yourself for what? For letting what you did define who I became. For building walls so high no one could get in. For becoming hard when I was gentle, controlled when I was spontaneous. Tears began to fall. You hurt me, deeply, but I let that pain change me in ways I shouldn't have. And I need to let go. Not for you, for me. Gabriel took a napkin and handed it to her. You didn't become hard. You became strong. There's a difference. I became both, and part of me misses who I was. The Marina who trusted, who loved openly, who wasn't afraid. That Marina still exists, said Gabriel softly. She's just protected. And it makes sense. I broke your trust. You did. But Gabriel, it wasn't just you. It was my choice. The choice to close off, to not try again, to use what you did as an excuse not to risk my heart. You did risk it. With your fiancé, I risk it halfway, always holding back a part of me, always ready for when they leave. And that's not life. It's survival. Gabriel didn't know what to say, so he just listened. I broke off my engagement, Marina continued. Not just because I was getting married for the wrong reasons, but because I couldn't love him completely. Because part of me was still stuck that day, still waiting for you to walk through the door, still waiting for an explanation that never came. Until it did, 2 years ago, in your office. Yes, and that made it worse, because the explanation made everything more complicated, because it wasn't that you didn't love me. It was that you were human, flawed, and you made bad choices out of panic. And that doesn't make it better. It makes it harder, because if you simply didn't love me, it would be easy to hate you. But you did love me, and you still hurt me. And that shows that love doesn't protect from pain, that even people we love can abandon us. Gabriel felt his own tears beginning. I'm sorry for teaching you that, for making you fear love. It's not just you, but you were. Or you were the first, and it hurt the most. They fell silent. 2 years of unspoken words between them. So what do we do now? Gabriel finally asked. Where does this leave us? Marina wiped her tears, took a deep breath. It leaves us with a choice. I can keep holding on to the anger, protecting my heart, living half a life, or I can try something scary. What? I can try to forgive. For real, not just in words but in actions. I can try to open up again, to trust again. With who? Marina looked directly into his eyes. I don't know yet, but the first step is letting you go. Really, letting go. Not with anger, but with peace. And if I don't want to be let go, then you understand that it's not about what you want. It's about what I need, and I need freedom. From you. From the past. From the pain. Gabriel nodded, understanding but hurting. Then I let you go, with my blessing, with gratitude for giving me this chance to see you again, and with the hope that you find the happiness you deserve. Marina smiled through her tears. Thank you for understanding. And Gabriel, you deserve happiness too. You deserve to forgive yourself. You deserve to move on. Not while I feel I owe you a debt. You don't owe me a debt. You have a past. And the past isn't a prison unless you turn it into one. They finished dinner talking about light things. Work. Family. Life in Miami. As if they were old friends. Without weight. Without pain. When they said goodbye in the hotel lobby, Marina hugged Gabriel. The first hug in 3 years. Take care of yourself, she said. You too. And Marina, thank you for this chance, for this closure. But when Marina returned to her room, she felt something unexpected. Not closure, but opening, as if finally talking, finally releasing, had opened a space that wasn't there before. And Gabriel, returning to his apartment, felt the same. As if the weight he had carried for 5 years had finally been put down. In the following months they didn't speak, but they thought of each other. Marina with less anger, Gabriel with less guilt. And then, 6 months after the dinner, Marina called again. Gabriel, I need to tell you something. I'm listening. I'm leaving the company. I accepted a position at a startup, smaller, riskier, but more me. Congratulations, you'll be amazing at it. Thank you, and I wanted you to know that you can come back to Chicago if you want. There won't be a conflict anymore. Thank you. I'll think about it. And Gabriel, one last thing. I started therapy, really working through what happened, and my therapist helped me see that you're not the villain. You're not the hero. You're just a human who made a mistake. A big mistake, yes, but a mistake, not a crime. And I'm learning the difference. Does that mean you've forgiven me? It means I'm trying. It's not instant, but it's a process, and I'm in it. Gabriel was crying now. Thank you. I don't know what to say besides that. You don't need to say anything. Just be happy. Try for both of us. 3 years after moving to Miami, Gabriel met someone, Julianne, a teacher, kind, patient, nothing like Marina, and maybe that's why it worked. You have a past, she said when he told her the story. Everyone does, but don't let it define the future. And slowly, Gabriel began to believe that. Marina also met someone, Charles, an engineer, calm, stable, and for the first time in years, she allowed herself to fall in love without reservations. I'm scared, she admitted. I know, Charles said, but courage isn't the absence of fear. It's acting in spite of it. 5 years after Gabriel abandoned Marina at the altar, 10 years after they met, they ran into each other by chance, at a mutual colleague's wedding. Marina, said Gabriel, surprised. Gabriel, she replied, smiling genuinely. There was no tension, no pain, just the recognition of 2 people who shared a history and survived. You look well, she asked. I am, really. And you? Happy, finally. I heard about your engagement. Congratulations. Thank you, and I heard about your girlfriend, Julianne, right? Right. 2 years together. She's good. Different, but good. Marina smiled. Different from us? Completely, and I think that's why it works. I understand that. Charles is completely different from you, and I'm grateful for that. It wasn't an insult. It was the truth, and Gabriel understood. I'm happy for you, truly. You deserve all good things. You too, and Gabriel? Thank you. For what? For being the mistake that taught me what I want, what I need, what I deserve. Without you, without the pain, I wouldn't have grown the way I did. I wish I hadn't been such a painful lesson. Me too. But it was, and we both survived. They hugged. Genuine, warm. And when they parted, there was peace. Real. Complete. 10 years after the wedding that didn't happen, Marina married Charles. Small ceremony. Intimate. No drama, just love. And this time, when she was ready to walk down the aisle, the groom was there, waiting, smiling, without doubts. "Ready?" asked her father. Marina looked at Charles and smiled. More than ever. And she walked, without fear, without hesitation, because this time it was right. It was a choice she made freely, without shadows, without ghosts. Gabriel wasn't there. It would have been strange. But he sent a gift, a simple card. "Wishing you every happiness. You always deserved it. You always will. With gratitude for forgiving me. Gabriel." Marina cried when she read it. But they were tears of liberation, of true closure. Because in the end, the story wasn't about a CEO who abandoned his bride and then worked for her. It was about two people who hurt each other, who took years to heal, who finally learned that forgiveness isn't forgetting, it's releasing. Marina didn't forget the pain, but she didn't let it define her. Gabriel didn't forget the guilt, but he didn't let it imprison him. And both found happiness, not with each other, but because of the journey they shared. Because sometimes love isn't about being together. It's about teaching lessons, forcing growth, and eventually letting go with grace. And Marina and Gabriel did exactly that. Loved, hurt, grew, and let go. Not with bitterness, but with gratitude for the role each played in the other's life. And that, in the end, was their happy ending. Not romantic, but real, honest, and completely theirs. Comment down below "True Liberation." So I know you made it to the end of this video, and I'll mark your comment with a special heart. And if Marina and Gabriel's story moved you, I have an even more surprising one to share with you. Just click on the video that's appearing on your screen now and I'll tell you everything. A big hug and see you in the next thrilling story. Bye-bye.